Drinking at 4:30 in the afternoon. It's the perfect time. The light is just right. It's important. Also, it's not too crowded. It's quiet. Man can have a drink, a pint in a dignified fashion, free of care.
Ice on.
No, thank you.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
So you're on holiday?
Sort of.
It's your first time in Glasgow?
No, I've been a number of times before. I haven't been in this pub before, though. Oldest in...
1510 was the building.
1510. Amazing.
From my very first time, it was Glasgow. My favorite city in Scotland, one of my favorite cities on earth. I was going to say one of my favorite cities in Europe, but is Glasgow Europe? I don't think so. It feels somehow older than that. To many outsiders, Glasgow is seen as a hard-scrabble, even fearsome place. A place that history has moved on from. But there is definitely a sense here that something different is around the corner.
What will be one of the most important events in Scottish and British history. More than 4 million people will decide whether Scotland should stay in the UK or become an independent country.
Will Scotland stay or will it leave the Union?
Scottish independence could mark the beginning of the end for the UK as we know it.
But in the end, 55% of Scots voted to stay in the Union. That left almost half the population still hungry for independence. And with 73.5% of teenagers voting yes, England had its undies very much in a bunch over the possibility of an unraveling of the Union with Scotland. It's an idea that is overwhelmingly popular in this city above all others.
Glasgow's a gutsy city. I'm told there's going to be big changes, a different outlook, regeneration, but I still hear the cries of yesterday.
Why does the possibility of independence have such a powerful hold on Glasgow? The past. Glasgow has long endured, among other things, a reputation for being the most violent area in the UK. It's a familiar cycle, analogous in many ways to what we see elsewhere. Hard times, disappearing manufacturing base, unemployment, a general sense of apathy that the government can't or won't fix what's broken. That in the corridors of power in London, in Edinburgh, they just don't give a shit about Glasgow. Especially Glasgow's east side. Like a lot of cities, like most cities in fact, Glasgow is divided. The River Clyde divides the north and south sides, but the bigger, more tangible divide is between east and west. The west, things are expected to be, well, nice. Nice cars, nice families, all the nice stuff that affluence supposedly brings. East side, that's where you grow up hard, where things are rougher, where you've got, according to popular legend, to fight to live every day.
In Scotland, if you're a young boy in Scotland and you're 9 or 10 and you're coming home from school and a big guy beats you up and you run home to your mum crying, you know what she'll do? She'll give you a cuddle and then she'll tell you to get back out there and get him. Don't let anybody ever do that to you. And if you need to get a stick, get a stick. If you need a brick, get a brick. Don't let anybody do it to you. That's what we do. And it makes us dangerous enemies or resourceful enemies, but it also makes us very loyal allies.
Detective John Carnation, 38 years on the job, much of it as murder police on the east side. He's seen it all. Confronted with violent hooliganism, the traditional approach has always been to get out there and bust some heads, make some stats, put up some numbers, lock up some perpetrators. But after decades of dealing with generation after generation of violence, much of it gang-related, he took an unusual and controversial new tactic. Along with a colleague, John established a special unit within the Strathclyde Police called the Violence Reduction Unit, and focused their efforts on the social problems that he felt led directly to violent crime. His peers, unsurprisingly, were dubious. But as of 2014, Scotland is at a 40-year low in violent crime. Retired from the force, Carnation now advises law enforcement around the world. When in town, though, he likes to come here. Typical Scottish fare, Mother India. For a lamb curry simmered in spicy tomato gravy, served with traditional Scottish naan bread.
I knew Glasgow was traditionally a tough town. I've always seen Glasgow as a warm, welcoming place. It's always been one of my favorite places in this part of the world to visit. So do you think the town's reputation is deserved, or is this a...
No. I mean, in terms of the level of violence, the facts are the facts. That's there. But statistically, if you don't live or come from Glasgow, your chances of being a victim of a violent attack in Glasgow, it's something like 0.000.
I've never, ever felt, and I've done a fair amount of stupid behavior here, a fair amount of drinking, a fair amount of putting myself in the sort of, situations that they advise visitors to a new town to not do. Right? I've never, ever felt uncomfortable here. On the other hand, I could be wrong in that after a few drinks, I notice that I don't understand anyone. So they could be making various threats of violence to me at the bar, and I could just be smiling and nodding.
Indian food is, of course, huge here, as it is everywhere in the UK. You could venture a guess that it's the cold, damp, and often dreary weather that causes the heart to yearn for spicy food from hotter climates. But it's more likely it began with the trade routes established by the East India Company in the 17th century and returning sailors, and that whole take over India thing. All I can say is pass the Rogan Josh.
So, how do you reduce violence? I mean, traditionally, we just need more police. Get out there, crack some skulls, throw some more people in jail, and problem solved.
Yep.
I'd say a good number of Americans probably still believe that very much. We're very fond of throwing people in prison. To suggest otherwise would be seen as coddling criminals.
Absolutely, and it was the same here. We weren't making a blind bit of difference to the levels of violence. We started to think about it in an entirely different way. Violence is a public health issue. We all have the capacity for violence. People learn how not to be violent. And that's why early years is important, because things that happen then will affect their whole life course about how they make decisions about themselves and how they judge risk. No matter how good the police service is, it will just contain and manage the problem. It won't make it better.
First of all, it's not what I'd expect to hear from somebody who spent 38 years with murder police, presumably busting heads and arresting people. That we should hug these little bastards.
Yeah,
more,
absolutely. Yeah.
That we should make them feel like they're worth something. I mean, I get it. I believe it, absolutely. But everything you've been saying is no way to run for office in my country.
You shouldn't. But I mean, if you say, look, this is going to take a generation, they go, oh, politicians don't want to know about generations.
Yeah,
they don't think of the next election, for goodness sake.
They're worried about the newscast on Monday at 6
A
o'clock.
lot of headlines. Yep, absolutely. The truth is, we don't have it licked here either, Tony. We don't have it sorted here. But we're on a journey.
So what's going right here? Come on, let's face it, this is one of the most awesome cities anywhere.
People. That's how it's going. Individuals starting to get together and say, look, this is shit. We can't keep doing this. Let's try something different.
Now, I want to go no deeper than the bottom of a bubbling cauldron of hot grease. It's out there. It's calling to me. I want it now. A happy place from my past, where once I frolicked young and carefree in the field of friolated arts. The University Cafe, where I learned at the foot of the masters the Tao of hot fat and crispy batter. Yes, they do a deep-fried Mars bar here, and deep-fried pizza. Been there, done that. But Carlo here and his twin brother have been keeping the Varecchia family tradition alive since 1918. And it ain't about no Mars bar.
I'm tempted to just go completely nuts for all of the things that I like pie, beans, and chips. Like, I don't even know what kind of pie, but I want it. The macaroni and cheese is tempting. Haggis I'm doing. Couldn't resist that. Cheese Beano, I don't even know what that is, but I kind of want it. Ooh, sausage roll. I do like a good sausage.
I order the fish and chips and some haggis. Haddock, battered and floating adrift in a sea of mysterious, life-giving oil. The accumulated flavors of many magical things as it bobs like Noah's Ark, bringing life in all its infinite variety. Deep-fried haggis, my personal favorite. Sinister sheep parts, in tube form in this case. And if you don't like chopped up liver and lungs and all that good stuff, believe me, the curry sauce sets you right. The combination of French fries or chips in the local dialect with curry sauce and with cheese is perhaps a bro too far. Guy Fieri in a kilt. But what the hey?
I'm pretty sure God is against this. Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh. That's good. It doesn't eat well with a fork. You really got to pick this up. So ashamed. Oh, yeah, clean living. That's really one of life's great pleasures. Don't let them tell you otherwise. They're lying about you, Mr. Haggis. There was no more unfairly reviled food on earth than haggis. Its ingredients are, in fact, no more unusual or bizarre or unappetizing than any hot dog you ever ate. You know, how many anal glands are in a chicken nugget? I don't know, and I'm not suggesting there are anal glands in a chicken nugget, but would you be surprised if there were? We'll get to the bottom of this. Back to you, Wolf.
Heading north out of Glasgow, Scotland quickly becomes something else. A savagely beautiful, harsh, but absolutely mesmerizing landscape that seems to have changed not at all for thousands, even millions of years. And across Loch Marie, and accessible only by boat, one of the great isolated estates, Letteryu. It's the favorite retreat of my friend, Adrian Gill. More widely known as A.A. Gill, he's the much-feared and widely followed restaurant critic for the London Sunday Times. A regular columnist for a spectrum of magazines, author, traveler, and one of the finest essayists of our time. Letteryu, as it stands today, was built as a shooting lodge. Deer stalking like they do here is something from another era. But it persists in places like this, which both protect and cull deer populations. If you are, like us, of course, two murderous aristocrats looking to put some venison on the table, you need help. Professional help. And estates like Letteryu come with a stalker, Stephen Miller has been working here for 8 seasons now, both protecting the animals who live on it and helping people like us in the arduous and delicate task of sneaking up on them. We would, as gentlemen of leisure, require a cook. And Adrian has recommended the supremely well-suited Fiona Culinary, who excels at this kind of Scottish traditional game cookery. For dinner, it's grouse, shot, then hung until the already funky game bird gets pleasingly ripe. The birds are rubbed inside and out with salt and pepper, some fresh thyme jammed in the cavity, browned in the pan, plenty of butter to baste with. In traditional game bird cookery of the British Isles, bread sauce is a must. We don't do this in America, but here it's essential. Basically, it's milk simmered with flavoring agent like an onion piqué, nutmeg, and bay leaf, then thickened with raspings of bread. Grouse barded with bacon, then roasted in the oven. Nicely rare to medium rare, they're removed to rest and the pan deglazed with red wine, game stock is added, and the sauce reduced. Topped with watercress alongside some parsnips and beetroot.
So explain what we're eating, because this is as classic as it gets, right?
And this is specifically Scottish. This is a grouse, which is the only truly wild game bird in Britain. They're the most highly prized as a sporting bird. They're the most difficult to shoot, but more importantly, they're the most prized to eat.
And this bread sauce thing, what is that?
Bread sauce, which is so you really have to grow up here to love this. It's like pottage. It's a sops.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very old dish, but it goes very well with the grouse. They're a very gamey meat. It's a very grown-up taste that is slightly repellent,
mm-hmm.
but it is within that it is particularly alluring.
Right.
And there is something also sexual about it that people
Right.
don't often talk about.
Right. So good.
I went to a vegetarian school. My parents sent me to a vegetarian boarding school, and so for 9 years, the year after I left, I was a vegetarian.
9 years as a vegetarian? That's
Wow.
unthinkable to me.
And then I decided not to be. And I made the decision that if I was going to eat meat again, that I had to be prepared to do the whole business.
Right. You got to be accountable.
For all of it. So I started getting fish with the guts in and gutting them, and then you go, and then in the end, someone says, "Well, come and you want to eat it, come and kill it." And you go, "Well, then I have to do that as well." And when I started doing it, it was like coming home. And that's the thing with being on the hill.
Until the 19th century, the Scottish Highlands were seen by many as a mysterious, hostile, and dangerous land. Populated, when populated at all, by scary-ass barbarians, descendants of the terrifying Picts, tribes so ferocious, so extravagant in their violence and toughness that even the Roman legions decided not to mess with them and instead built a wall, hoping to just keep them out and away from civilized society. Later, hunting estates like this were home to tenant farmers who scratched out a living growing oats and potatoes. Owned by landed gentry, by various royals, the Highland clans Mackenzie, MacDonald, and MacLeod, to name a few, later by newer money, fabulously wealthy foreigners. Today, around half the land in Scotland is owned by fewer than 500 people. It's an anachronism. Dismaying to some, I grant you, but seductive as well. Because who wouldn't do this if they could? Enjoy this kind of rugged solitude from the comfort of a warm, inviting 17th century lodge. Warm one's legs by the fire, play a little snooker, enjoy a fine single malt or two, a substantial game meal, Maybe another whiskey, perhaps. Contemplate the mysteries of the universe under a starry sky. Then to sleep into the arms of Morpheus. To rise in the morning as bringer of death. Stephen and Adrian keep calling it the Hill, but that ain't no hill I ever seen. It's a behemoth, an endless range of behemoths. One mountain giving way to a moor, giving way to another mountain, then more, then more. There might be a hill somewhere in there, but it's probably between mountains after a 5-mile uphill walk. And though I am, to be modest, in the best shape of my life of late, it's a daunting hike. The climb gradual, then steep. The footing ranging from rocky to spongy and wet. Mile after mile. Me trying to look cool, make it seem like this is nothing unusual. But really, I'm dying. We walk the Highlands for hours. Our stalker, Stephen, finally identifies a red stag of suitable age and size. One ready, in the parlance, to be taken off the hill. Getting in a range without scaring him off, however, is another challenge.
Just a cut back round.
We need to circle around the mountain to close the distance.
Right, but there's not a lot I can do, you know? You've got to get past them, like.
Okay. So we go slowly.
Just pretend we're hikers at the moment.
He hasn't even got a bobble hat.
What?
If you put a bobble hat on, the deer think you're a hiker. Just in front into the... Can you see the antlers?
Yeah.
Take it nice and steady. It's unsafe, remember? Just take your time. That's a nice stag.
10 points.
Is that good?
He was never going to get any better. Do you want to use your knife?
Yeah.
For shooting your first red stag in Scotland, we all get blooded. Oh, it's best if you close your eyes.
Oh, okay.
And the rule is you have to leave it on
Yeah.
all day.
going, chaps?
As getting vehicles up here would be both difficult and destructive, the estate has maintained the tradition of using Highland ponies to retrieve the stalked deer. They're bred to be strong and trained to do this work. They'll likely make it back sooner than we will.
Thanks, chaps. We'll catch you later on at some point.
Yeah.
Good boys through.
I'd thought coming up, my legs burning, I can't wait till that nice, easy downhill walk back. But as I soon find out, the walk down is even harder. Knees screaming, face crusted with dried blood, I'm looking forward to a warm fire, a strong whiskey, and some good country-ass cooking.
So what do you fancy with the venison? Stewed with wine?
They always marinate in juniper and
I
all
know.
of that. I super simple.
Okay, we'll do that.
The venison is seasoned with salt and pepper and rosemary, seared in duck fat, and then into the oven. A pan sauce made from the fond, red wine, and deep game stock, sweetened with currant jelly and finished with a mellowing knob of whole butter. Served with clapshot, basically mashed turnips and potatoes.
That's it, that's the end of the season.
Tuesday, the girls will be
Then
getting
you
it.
start killing the girls. You have to traditionally wear the zipper mask, or the leather mask, to do that. And you send them notes beforehand saying, I'm watching you, I know where you live.
We deserve this.
Oh, we've worked for it, huh?
Yeah. Literally the greatest feat of strength of my entire life. Never at any time in my entire life have I done anything remotely so physical over a sustained period of time.
Really?
Never.
Look how well you look.
At no point previously in my life would I have been able to do it. Thank you, guys.
Cheers, the best of health, folks. All the very best. Stand you up.
Stand you up. Good shot.
Best of health.
Look, the hill's now a safer place. A safer place for ramblers.
It's a lot safer now that we're not on it, mind.
I came to Scotland this time to shoot an animal in the heart, to take part, to be fully culpable in a practice nearly as old as these hills. You walk this country, stalking an animal across the rocks and wet heather, you feel little has changed from how your distant ancestors must have searched for their food, with a rifle, with a spear, with a club. I dragged my knuckles up a hill, and like my ape-like predecessors, returned tired, happy, and covered in blood. Everything changes. Nothing changes at all.